There's nothing quite like the taste and smell of fresh homemade bread, and today we're making a simple, delicious naan recipe. Welcome to the Spendwise Moms channel, your homemaking resource hub. If you like homemade bread, you're going to love this easy naan recipe. If you don't know what naan is, it is a flatbread from India. Naan is full of flavor, and you probably have most of the ingredients in your pantry already. The only thing I needed to grab was some plain yogurt. Now you can use a stand mixer for this, but I'm going to do it by hand today, just in case some people don't have a KitchenAid. Start by grabbing a large bowl and add a half of a cup of plain yogurt to it. Set it aside for just a minute. Then in a saucepan, heat up a half of a cup of milk until it's warm, but not hot. You can also use a microwave if that's easier for you. Once it's ready, pour the warm milk into the yogurt and stir. Now add 1½ teaspoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons of yeast, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1½ tablespoons of canola oil. I'll put the full recipe in the description box below, so don't worry about writing it down. Give it a good mix until everything is combined. Now it's time for the flour. You'll need about 2 cups, but don't add it all at once. Start with 1 cup and stir it, and then add a little bit at a time until the dough is soft and not sticky. You may end up using a little bit more or a little bit less. Yesterday, I used just over 2 cups, but today I used just under 2 cups. You'll see that the dough will change texture as you knead it by hand. Just keep kneading the dough until it's smooth and doesn't stick to your hands. Once you're done, put your ball of dough on the counter and go wash the bowl and dry it. I'll clean up my counter and bowl and I'll be right back. Now pour a little bit of canola oil into the bowl, and then take your dough and roll it around so it gets coated on the outside, and then cover the bowl with a towel. Let it rest for about an hour and a half so the dough can rise. Once the dough has risen, divide it into 6 equal parts. Take each part and roll it into a flat circle. You can use a little bit of flour to prevent it from sticking, but this dough shouldn't be too sticky. You can cover them while you heat up the pan, but sometimes I skip doing that and just toss the loaves over every few minutes to keep them from sticking. Next, heat up a non-stick frying pan on medium heat. Let it get nice and hot. This usually takes a few minutes, so sometimes I start heating the pan while I'm rolling out the dough. Place one of your rolled out loaves of naan into the hot pan and cook it until it bubbles on the first side. Then flip it over and cook it on the other side. It usually takes about the same amount of time for each side. If you're worried, you can check the color and make sure it's not too dark. Some of mine got a little darker than I'd like, but they still taste amazing. Once each naan is done, place it on a cooling rack and brush both sides with some butter. I usually do this after each one is cooked. Don't worry if your first one doesn't look perfect. The pan wasn't quite as hot for my first one, but it still looks fine and tastes delicious. As you go, you'll get the hang of it and your naan will turn out just right. And that's it. Now you have delicious homemade naan to enjoy. I'm actually taking mine to a dinner with some neighbors tonight, and I can't wait to share it. Remember, the full recipe is in the description box below. If you have any questions, or if you want to share how your naan turned out, leave a comment. Thanks for watching the Spendwise Moms. If you like this recipe, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more videos like this.